Hey guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about how frugality meets minimalism. So let's get to it. Okay, now I've mentioned a couple times on my channel how I really believe that minimalism can help you to live a more frugal life, to help you get out of debt. And I'm sure you've heard of minimalism before, but if you haven't, then minimalism is it's basically a commitment to live with less. So less clutter, less stuff. I think a lot of us, when we purchased our new house a couple years ago, it was bigger than our old house, and it's like, oh, we've got all this space. And when we first purchased our first house, it was just my husband and I and our 6-month-old baby, and we had nothing. We were coming from a small apartment, and before we knew it, it was like this big giant space, 4 bedrooms, and we were like, wow, all this room. We don't have hardly anything. But by the time we left that house, it was like there was stuff everywhere. I'm like, what is all this stuff? There was some stuff in the basement that we had put down there when we moved in, and it was still there 10 plus years later, and we hadn't even touched it. Somehow stuff has a way of just creeping into our lives. A lot of times, people give us gifts and we feel bad about getting rid of it. And so we want to focus on just keeping the things in our lives, people too, that add value, right? Things that actually have meaning to us, things that we use that actually function. I like things that function. I'm a very practical woman, so I actually enjoy getting gifts that are practical. So frugality is a practice of being intentional with your money. So we want to combine frugality with minimalism. And frugality doesn't mean that you're necessarily cheap. You can still have things of value, things that are important to you, but you focus on only purchasing those things that really matter to you, and you also try to get them at a good price. So what we want to do is create a synergy between frugality and minimalism that will really accelerate your debt-free journey of paying off your debt, or your debt-free life and building up your investments. So the benefits of minimalism is, number one, you'll have a clearer set of priorities. There are less distractions, you know what to focus on. So an actionable item that you can take is take 10 minutes today or after this video and write down your top 3 financial goals. Write them down on a piece of paper or in the notes on your phone. But you want it to be somewhere that's visible, that you can quickly look at, so that you can see and stay focused on those goals. And then we want to reduce our expenses, right? Yeah. Minimalism will naturally reduce our expenses because we're spending less money on things. Fewer possessions means that you have less maintenance on things. You don't have as many replacement costs. So if you review all of your expenses from the last 3 months and find some areas where you can reduce those expenses, then you can take that money and put it towards your debt or into your savings account. Now, it's a lot less stressful when you have less clutter around you. So what I would say is to dedicate 15 minutes every day, just 15 minutes, set a little timer on your phone or your microwave or wherever, and set the timer and just declutter one area for 15 minutes, or just walk around the house for 15 minutes and try to get rid of some things that you don't think you need anymore. I would say to set a goal to declutter your home at least once a week. So, take one room once a week, a little bit longer than the 15 minutes this time, and just really spend time looking through it to see what you can donate. Maybe you can sell some of those items and take that extra money and put it towards your debt or into your savings. And so it'll help you if you just take once a week, take one room and just really try to work on it. And then you can kind of rotate. You can even create a chart of, this week I'm working on the living room, next week is the kitchen, next week is the kids' bedroom, and you can just kind of rotate through all those rooms and continue doing that once a week, like I said, and then it will really help you to eliminate stuff, declutter, and possibly find things that you can sell. Or find things you didn't know you had so you don't have to buy it again. You can also adopt a rule of 1 in, 1 out. So if you bring something into the house, then you have to bring something out. So you have to donate it or sell it. So if you're going to be purchasing something to bring in, then get rid of something. Evaluate your subscriptions. I think subscriptions possibly are getting out of hand for a lot of us. Don't even realize that we have all these streaming services that we're paying for. So really make sure that you're aware of exactly what it is that you are paying for month to month, and track it if you can. Write it down, put it on your phone in an app. There's calendars. Make sure you really know what month to month or annual subscriptions you have that you're paying for, and see if you can clean them up a bit and get rid of them. Then there's obviously meal planning, which is extremely important so you don't eat out a lot. You can cook in bulk. I just posted a blog post about slow cooker recipes. So I love, our crock pot, your slow cooker, we have an Instapot. We've got, so those things are huge. So if you can plan out your meals, you'll save a lot of money. You can simplify your meals. I've talked before on my channel about mono mealing. I do eat a plant-based diet. I've been for many years, and I actually really like mono mealing. To me, it's very simple, very easy, and I don't have a problem with it. My health is excellent. I do visit the doctor. They always tell me how great I'm doing, excellent cholesterol and everything. So I think that you can definitely simplify your diet and your meals as well. So think about minimalism as it relates to your food choices and your meal choices. Also, try to embrace low cost or free activities. So I challenge you to look and see if you can find 3 free activities in your area and schedule one of them to go to. See if there was something free that you could go to and give it a try. Sometimes it's a little bit daunting at first, but if you go to that free activity, you might find that it's actually really fun, and you might find a new community of people that you want to hang out with. Now, you don't have to overhaul your whole life in one day or 1 month. Transitioning into a more frugal, minimalistic lifestyle can take time. So it's a little bit at a time. So if you can just do one small change every day or every week, then it will add up over time, and you'll soon discover that you're sort of, changing things around. But change can be slow, and it should probably be slow in order for it to be lasting. Because if you go and overhaul everything, you're probably going to just revert back into your old ways. So it might be better to really ease into it, so that way you can develop those habits slowly. And like I said, then that you can maintain them over time. Because if you can develop like a frugal, minimalistic way of living, and you're able, then as you're getting out of debt, say you develop this, then when you're out of debt, think of how awesome that is that you now live your life in this way, because you can just continue, and then it'll help you when you're building up your fully funded emergency fund. It'll help you when you're trying to put money towards, your retirement accounts or saving for your kids' college or whatever financial goal you have. If you maintain this kind of style of living, and also if you do have children, I feel like it's very helpful to them. Because they're not being deprived, like you're still paying for the things and saving for the things that you want to, but they can see then that you're not heavily focused on things, that's not a focus in your family, and then they also can develop these habits. So you're doing a service to them as well that might help them in their future, because regardless of what their future salaries are, if they've grown up in this type of environment where you've been sort of, living this way, then they also can adopt those same ways of living, and it'll help them financially in the future. Something to think about. So minimalism helps us all to appreciate the things that we do have. And I think that that's certainly true for me. I try to really embrace and re-love things that we have, clean them up, fix them up, paint things to change the color on them. And, it can be fun. It can be like a good hobby to sort of see how you can remix things that you already own and make them even better, or to make you reappreciate them. And we all do have quite a lot more than we probably even realize if we actually look around. And it's something to be grateful for. So spending a few minutes every day to practice gratitude or awe, and sort of look and see, what can I see that I'm really appreciative that I have, even if it's a chair, even if it's a countertop. I really like our countertops in our kitchen, our granite countertops. I always am very very of them, because we didn't have it in our last house, and I really do enjoy it. So little things that you might have, try to take the time to be grateful, and it'll really help you have a sense of peace and happiness and joy. So if you can focus on those things, then it helps you to not focus too heavily on the things that you don't have, or the struggles that I know you might be facing, or, we all face struggles, whether it's financial or personal, career-wise. But there has to be something that you can be grateful for within your home or within your life, and try to spend a little bit of time every day thinking on that. Okay? All right. So if you're trying to get out of debt and you're not sure where to start, I did post a video recently talking all about how to build your emergency fund. So I'll go ahead and link that here if you would like to watch that. I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.